news.
We interrupt your regular scheduled program to bring you breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Live in the studios of Charm City Direct TV. Now, here's your host, E. Digga.
Good afternoon, good people. It is I, the man that you all know and love, E. Digga, and this is Charm City Direct TV breaking news. Breaking news coming out of Buffalo, New York. Mass shooting in a grocery store. 10 people are pronounced dead. We bring you to CBS News as the incident happened, so we're going to go there.
Taking you now to Buffalo, New York, where police officials are discussing a mass shooting that happened in a supermarket. CBS News has confirmed at least 10 people are dead, more are injured. Let's listen.
Alan, let me know when we're good. Mayor Brown.
What started out as a beautiful day in the city of Buffalo has turned into a terrible day and one of tremendous heartbreak for every member of our community. We have suffered a mass shooting with multiple casualties and several people injured. This is the worst nightmare that any community can face, and we are hurting and we are seething right now as a community. The depth of pain that families are feeling and that all of us are feeling right now cannot even be explained. Some of us had the opportunity to provide comfort to some of the families, but needless to say, there is no comfort at this time. We are pleased that a shooter is in custody. The person responsible for the tragic events of today is in custody. You will get more details in a moment. I want to thank all of the law enforcement agencies at the federal, state, county, and city level, all of the agencies that have responded. Buffalo is known as the city of good neighbors nationally and internationally. This is a community where people love each other. The shooter was not from this community. In fact, the shooter traveled hours from outside this community to perpetrate this crime on the people of Buffalo. A day when people were enjoying the sunshine, enjoying family, enjoying friends, all manner of happy activities. People in a supermarket shopping and bullets raining down on them. People's lives being snuffed out in an instant for no reason. I have to say that this particular top supermarket is near and dear to my heart. It's one that I worked years ago to help bring to this community. It's one that I patronize from time to time. My family patronizes from time to time. And some of the victims of this shooter's attack are people that all of us standing up here know. So this is a day of great pain for our community. I want to just recognize some of those that are with us today before I turn things over to our police commissioner, Joseph Gramaglio, to give you more detail. Want to recognize County Executive Mark Poloncarz, Erie County Executive, Congressman Brian Higgins, Council President, Buffalo City Council President Darius Pridgeon, Erie County Legislature Chairwoman April Baskin, Erie County Legislator Howard Johnson. I want to recognize Governor Kathy Hochul and thank her for her calls. Governor's staff is with us now, and the governor is flying back into town and will be here sometime after 7 o'clock. I want to recognize Attorney General Letitia James, who has also called, and we have also received calls from the White House. Again, this is a day of great sadness for all of us in the city of Buffalo. To provide you with more detail, I want to turn things over to Buffalo Police Commissioner Joseph Gramaglia.
Thank you, Mayor. At approximately 2:30 today, an individual who the mayor stated is not from this area and is from hours away drove to Buffalo, went to 1275 Jefferson Avenue to the Tops Market. He exited his vehicle. He was very heavily armed. He had tactical gear. He had a tactical helmet on. He had a camera that he was live streaming what he was doing. The individual exited his car and engaged 4 individuals. He shot 4 people in the parking lot. 3 of those were deceased. 1 individual at this time is surviving the injury. The individual went inside. As I said, he's an 18-year-old white male, walked into the store and began engaging customers inside the store. One of the individuals inside the store is a security guard, a beloved security guard, who is a retired Buffalo police officer, a hero in our eyes, engaged the suspect, fired multiple shots, struck the suspect, but because he had heavily armored plating on, that bullet had no round. The suspect engaged our retired officer, and he was ultimately shot and deceased at the scene. He continued to work his way through the store. Ultimately, he worked his way back towards the front of the store. Buffalo police immediately respond, engage the suspect in the vestibule of the store, and at that point, the suspect put the gun to his own neck. Buffalo police personnel, 2 patrol officers, talked the suspect into dropping the gun. He dropped the gun, took off some of his tactical gear, surrendered at that point, and he was led outside, put in a police car, and transported to Buffalo Police Headquarters. So as we said, a total of 13 people were shot today, 10 deceased at the scene, and 3 sustained non-life-threatening injuries. It appears to be non-life-threatening injuries at that point. 4 in total were store employees. One of those was the security guard who has worked at that location for a very long time. Many officers are on scene here, knew him quite well. And the rest of the victims are customers of the store. As the mayor said, this tragic incident by someone who is not a part of our community, does not live here. We'll let some of the other agencies get into the information that's been posted online, and I will turn this over at this point first to our Erie County Sheriff, John Garcia. I would like to thank all of the agencies. We have a very, very close working relationship with every level of government, every level of law enforcement, and everybody was immediately calling and responding. We had a command post set up, and everybody is asking what we can do and how can we pitch in. The individuals from several hours away, the New York State Police and the FBI are investigating that part of the crime as well. So I will turn this over at this point to Erie County Sheriff John Garcia. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Gramaglia. As your sheriff and on behalf of the men and women of the Erie County Sheriff's Office, our condolences to the victims and their families. From a law enforcement standpoint, the Erie County Sheriff's Office responded, boots on the ground, deputies, investigators, our helicopter in the air, our SWAT team on standby, and as Commissioner Gramaglia said, we are working together every single day to keep the community safe. This was pure evil. It was straight up racially motivated hate crime from somebody outside of our community, outside of the city of good neighbors, as the mayor said, coming into our community and trying to inflict that evil upon us. I urge everyone to stay calm, and we are there to protect the citizens of Erie County and Buffalo, and we'll be out there along with the City of Buffalo Police Department patrolling. And again, my condolences to the family, and this person was pure evil. So, thank you.
I'm Stephen Belongia. I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI's Buffalo field office. We stand here today confronted with feelings of anger, shock, confusion, fear, and compassion. We feel motivated to help and relieve the anguish of those who were killed and injured today and their families and friends. These victims did not deserve this. They were doing what we do every day, going to the grocery store or simply doing our jobs. The FBI is working this case jointly with our partners, with the Buffalo PD and our other federal, state, and local partners. We are investigating this incident as both a hate crime and a case of racially motivated violent extremism. Hate crimes fall within the FBI's Criminal Investigative Division.
I'm gonna just pause it right there. I wanted to say, first and foremost, it's sad when you cannot go to the market and shop. It's sad when you cannot enjoy yourself on a bright sunny day, go outside, and you can't enjoy yourself, that you have to be alert and alarmed. It's so sad where you know you can't enjoy life anymore. And it's sad. It is 100% sad. I cannot sit here and stress enough how all of this is just frustrating, especially here in Baltimore. For those who are looking, uh, if you're tuned in from out of state, I live in Baltimore, and we are faced right now with crime, shootings. Every weekend is a shooting. And the sad reality is that the shootings happen all in a weekend, all in one day, or a span of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And when you wake up on Monday morning and you look at the news, it's another shooting. It's a multitude of shootings. And now everybody want to play the blame game. Everybody want to point the finger. Everybody want to say who fault it is, instead of getting down to the root of the problem. We can play the name game later. The thing that bothers me is that nobody is coming up with a solution, a concrete solution. Everybody is talking about it, but no one is coming up with a concrete solution to this epidemic, to the situation. Actually, it's an epidemic. And talk is cheap. Every week I'm seeing the mayor, I'm seeing the police chief, um every opportunity, every time when someone is shot, every time when someone is killed, you seeing the mayor, you seeing the police commissioner, and they're talking, but no one is stating anything about a solution to this. And it's not only here in Baltimore, as you can see, it's in Buffalo, New York, it's in other cities and states that you know we could just pick up a gun, walk into a store, and just start shooting. Now, the good thing about this situation is the person was shot. I mean, the person was caught. He was caught. Now the thing is how many of these crimes, how many of these mass shootings do we have to endure before someone says, you know what, enough is enough. We have to provide stricter gun laws. We have to do something that would really, really, really be hard for someone to get a gun. And I know that sounds so, cookie cutter and very cliche, but then you have to realize how many other people have guns, you know? This is crazy. So I just wanted to say that, and then I'm gonna return it. I'm gonna go back to the video.
And racially motivated violent extremism cases fall within the FBI's counterterrorism division within our domestic terrorism section. The FBI is providing all necessary resources, both locally and nationally, to investigate this matter. We will not stop until every lead is investigated, every piece of evidence is analyzed, and until we understand how and why this horrible tragedy and crime occurred. Our thoughts and our prayers are with the family and the victims who died today.
I'm Trini Ross. I'm the United States Attorney for the Western District of New York. I want to start by saying my thoughts and heartfelt prayers go to the family, the victims, and the community that had to suffer this great and unnecessary tragedy today. We're working with our state, federal, and local law enforcement partners, as you've already heard from, to ensure that justice is brought to this community, to those victims, to their families. The United States Attorney's Office will be investigating this case along with our law enforcement partners as a hate crime and domestic violent extremism. I'm in touch with the highest levels of the Department of Justice. Resources will be put behind this investigation. Whatever we need, we will not stop until justice is brought to this community, those families, and the victims of this horrific crime. I can assure you, as the United States Attorney, I will bring whatever resources we need to this community to make sure that justice is done. This should never happen to anyone in any community. It surely shouldn't happen on a beautiful Saturday when people are just shopping and going through normal life events. We will ensure that the perpetrator of this victim is given justice, and justice will be done for this community.
All right. Let me first start out by saying thank you. Thank you to all my partners in law enforcement here, from the federal, state, local level. The amount of work that's been done so far has been extraordinary. The amount of information that's been gathered so far has been outstanding. And for everyone involved here, from Trini to BPD to the state police to the sheriff, I cannot thank enough. We here in Erie County, though, are not waiting. I have already called Judge Hanna, to come downtown immediately and arraign this individual. So within the next hour, this individual will be arraigned on a charge of murder in the first degree. I am not even going to mention his name right now, one, because the arraignment hasn't occurred, but more importantly, I don't want to give him any celebrityism at all right now. I don't want to give him anything right now that puts attention on him and the alleged, and again I say alleged, despicable acts that were committed today in our great city. So I'm not going to give you his name right now. I'll give it to you after I issue a press release after he's been arraigned. But Judge Hanna is downtown right now. BPD in my office are drafting the charges right now, and he will be arraigned tonight. And that charge of murder in the first degree carries with it a life without parole sentence. Now, there are two aspects of the murder in the first degree charge that potentially could be charged here. The one obviously is crystal clear right now. There is a certain subdivision of the murder in the first degree that accounts for multiple individuals getting shot and killed, which is what we have here. As the commissioner said, we have 10 individuals who have unfortunately lost their life, 3 that have been shot but are going to survive, hopefully. There is also a second subsection of the murder in the first degree that has a racial component to it. Obviously, we will investigate that further. I want to make sure right now, though, when I arraign him tonight, my clock is ticking as far as my felony hearing date, which will be 5 days from now. So I want to make sure that I have the best charge right now to hold him in custody and to get this matter moving forward before I add any other charges on. But I can, and if those charges are applicable, which I think they may be, they will be added on. They're not going to increase the punishment at all from a state standpoint. From a state standpoint, it is life without parole, and that's as high as we can go. So I also want to thank my district attorneys across the country who have been texting me and calling me for the past 2 hours. I thank you for your thoughts. I thank you for your prayers. But more importantly, I want everyone to know that my thoughts and prayers are with the family members who have lost loved ones today in the city of Buffalo.
We'll next hear from County Executive Mark Poloncarz and then Congressman Brian Higgins.
And then I'll take any questions at the end.
As has been said by all the others, today is one of the saddest days in the city of Buffalo and Erie County's history. All of the county's resources have been made available as necessary to assist in this unfortunate, horrific act. As the mayor noted, we are the city of good neighbors, and we, of course, are not defined by this act, but how we will come together to support the families of those who have lost. And on behalf of the people of Erie County, I want to offer my deepest condolences to those who lost a loved one today. Erie County mental health counselors, as well as our partners from the mental health community, are already on site to assist.
So I'm just wanted to pause, and I'm waiting for my sister to come on. Nova Pearl, she is an awesome journalist. She is one that pretty much, she walks the walk, she talks the talk. I just want her to come on and offer her opinion on this situation. But as you can see, mass shooting in Buffalo, New York, in a grocery store, as you heard some of the city officials, people out and shopping at a supermarket, and you just can't do that no more. So here she is, my sister in media, my sister in journalism, awesome journalist. I want to bring her on. Nova Pearl. Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
Man, let me tell you, this is crazy. This is
Yes,
beyond crazy.
it is. Honestly, it's so crazy. Like, you got to catch me up, because I was actually just talking to my mother and she was telling me about it. And I've seen it on social media. I saw Dr. Umar Johnson post about it. I didn't actually go into it to like really get the details. Honestly, it was like about 8:30 something this morning. It was 9 shots that rang out in downtown Silver Springs. Someone got shot at the Metro. Everything was shut down. So after that, I'm like, dang, what is going on? I just moved out the hood. Like, you know what I mean? I thought I was coming to somewhere where it's peace, but it's like, you can't escape it anywhere. People are going crazy.
Right.
Absolutely crazy.
So I was just telling people that here in Baltimore,
Mm-hmm.
it's right now, it's like a it's like a yearly thing, right about spring, summer. Everybody just going buck wild. Every
It's gonna
weekend
be a
around
hot
here.
summer.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely going to be a hot summer. It's going to be a long summer, and it's definitely going to be a deadly summer because here in Baltimore, man, it's like every weekend somebody is getting shot
Hmm.
or multiple shootings
Hmm.
in one day. I'm talking like Friday, 15 people, Saturday, 10, 15, 20 people. It's like, everybody's just going on a shooting spree. But the thing is, what I'm concerned with now, and just like here in Baltimore, and just like this in Silver Spring and Buffalo, when is the strict laws on gun control conversation going to start? That is my thing. Like,
Hmm.
I understand there's a plethora of guns out there already. I understand that, but I want to walk into a store right now and buy a gun. How hard it is to get that gun is I'm almost certain it's easy right now because and the
Yeah,
reason why I
I mean,
say
they have
that
like a lot of different expos that they do that people are buying guns
right,
at.
right,
You have people who are able to go into certain stores and get guns. I think that if there were stricter gun laws in that sort of stuff, we got to think about who that's going to affect the most.
right,
And I'm for bearing arms, especially Black people, particularly Black women.
right,
Um,
right,
of course, responsibly. I don't know, as much about the NRA as I should, and I think after this, I'm going to do a bit research, for the sake of conversation and putting, information out there. But I think it's a certain type of weapons. If you're a citizen and you're able to purchase a certain type of weapon where you can actually perform a mass shooting like that, I think
right.
that's a problem.
Okay,
I think it boils down to like what is having the right to protect yourself with a gun, like what type of
right,
gun is
right,
necessary for that.
right.
When we're talking like AR-15s and different things like that,
Why
do
would you need that?
citizens really need
Right,
AR-15s?
right,
And if this is some sort of sport type of thing that they like it
right,
for, then create those complexes just like you would a soccer complex or a football complex, and
right.
give people the ability to use those weapons in a safe way,
So
in a safe
so
manner.
so not to cut you off because I just had a thought when what was his name? Gosh, House, Rittenhouse, goes to the city, walking through the city with a AK, 47 or whatever that gun
Hmm.
was. That it
Hmm.
just popped into my head, like, why would he need that gun to protect himself? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's my thought. Like now, so we have now my new favorite word over Pearl is prefla, because I can say that real easily off the tongue now. So we have a plethora of classes of conceal and carry classes. 250 is like $50 down and 250 for the whole class. So this is how I'm thinking. Like for Buffalo, this situation in Buffalo or anywhere, uh this person goes to one of these conceal carry and conceal classes, and they give you a license or they provide you with a certification to say, hey, you could buy a gun. So there, I'm just using this as an example. So I have my certificate right here. I have my certificate. I go into a gun store, pawn shop, or what have you, and I give the clerk this, and I want the biggest gun available.
Hmm. Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But you're right. It's like these, like, for me, it's like these are the guns that you can get to protect your home. If this is what you walked in with your little certificate, your certification, these are the guns for your certification. You see what I'm saying? You can't take the class, get the certification, and go into a gun store and say, I want an AK-47, knowing that you want to protect your home. You see what I'm saying? Because I think that's what's going on.
I think that people have to. I think people should be certified and able to get certain weapons. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right.
what do citizens need that type of weaponry for? Like, who are you going to war with? You know what I mean?
Right.
If you're just
Right.
protecting yourself, this is in case somebody, tries to rob you or something like that.
Right.
If you're at the gas station and you know that you're in an area that, may be kind of bad or whatever, you want to make sure that you have protection. There's been incidents there and that sort of stuff. You're not going to go to the gas station with a AR-15 or an AK-47. You're going to have some type of handgun or something that you could put in your holster, and if you need to pull it out to protect yourself, that's what it would be for.
Right.
And I think that's how we need to think about it.
Exactly.
Like, limit the amount of ammo that can go into a particular gun for citizens. You know what I mean? Like, if you're trying to protect yourself, all it takes is one bullet.
Right.
To kill someone, right?
Oh yeah.
So if guns are given to citizens that maybe have a maximum of 8 bullets that are allowed.
I think we lost her some way. Let me just check. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I think we lost her. So, okay, now she back. All right,
Okay.
you're back. All right.
Yeah. So if you can only have 8 bullets in the gun, then that reduces the amount of people that someone could try to kill at a time.
Right.
Because you got to think about miss. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this one hit that person in the shoulder, this one hit that person in the leg.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I think if we look at it from that perspective, because I definitely don't believe in taking away people's arms, but I do believe that some arms people should not be able to bear.
There you go. So right there, if you just joining in, I'm talking to my sister, Nova Pearl, my sister in journalism and media, and we are discussing this mass shooting in Buffalo, New York, in a grocery store. 10 people are killed, 10 people dead. They did catch the person. The video that I was playing, one of the city officials said, "Hey, look, we when he gets here, we need to arraign him right now. It is no waiting. We are not taking his ass to Burger King. He's not getting nothing to eat, because the dude that they did that to
in South Carolina,
right?
Dylan Roof.
Was it
Dylan Roof?
Dylan Roof, yeah. They took him to Burger King and he got him something to eat. No, in the Buffalo, he said no. When we got him, we gonna arraign him. We are not giving him no kind of celebrity. We ain't even saying the nigga's name. It is that serious right now,
And I think they need to do that because a lot of people get off on the notoriety in what they did.
Right.
There are people who are sick like that get off on the notoriety. You don't know what secret societies or organizations these people could be a part of.
Exactly.
You don't know if they're, setting the blaze to be a trailblazer and for the trajectory of what's to come. So definitely, these people shouldn't be given notoriety in a sense.
Right.
And I mean, it's sickening. It's sad. We're coming off we're literally now in post-pandemic, if you will.
Yeah.
We're not post-COVID because, there's still cases every day. However, we are post-pandemic. People are coming out en masse. It's almost getting back to society as normal. And people have had a lot of time to think. You don't know what person is sitting in a house with no one to talk to and that sort of stuff, and just anger, loneliness, bitterness begins to fester, and they go out in the world and seeing people on their day-to-day enjoying their day and decide that they just want to go kill someone because of whatever they may be going through. So I think that like post-pandemic is gonna be very telling as far as the mental stability of a lot of people in America.
Now,
And
Oh, I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I'm
you're
sorry.
good. You're good. You're good.
Before we go, let's talk about this situation, what I had mentioned earlier about the number of people who have guns right now.
Hmm.
How can we what type of, because I'm almost certain everybody in their mama got some type of gun.
Hmm.
We can almost control who can get a gun, but
Hmm.
the guns that are out there and these little, I understand. I applaud the effort. Please understand, Nova Pearl. I applaud the effort of doing these, drop your gun off and get $100 drives and stuff like that. But how many people are honest like that? Like, I have a gun. I don't, I'm gonna give up my gun for $100. Really? You see what I'm
I mean, they
saying?
could that could be a gun that got something on it that they just trying to hurry up and get rid of.
Right.
But that don't mean that's not the other four that they got under their mattress or
Right.
wherever they may have it at. I mean, the thing about it is like these are systems that we're trying to put in place. And these systems really don't work because there's always some type of loophole in it. And you got to think that people who have guns illegally more than likely are criminal minded. And so if you have a gun that you should not have legally, that number one, that you're a criminal right there, number one. You're not
Right.
even supposed to have this.
Right.
So, I mean, the thing about it is, I don't see people just giving up their weapons and that sort of stuff because, oh, they're going to give me $100. Oh, well, I got this little gun. I need to get rid of this anyway. I still got these over here. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly, Angie. And thanks for watching, Angie. She said, or the machine gun they still want to keep. So they give up the little mediocre gun or the gun that got the charges, but they still got a Uzi, a Glock,
Mm-hmm.
a AK
But you got to
47.
think about like what the intention of the creator, the developer of these weapons were.
Right.
What was the intention? What was
Right.
the intention to create a weapon to be able to kill people in mass numbers? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like these weapons were created with that intention,
Right.
and they're going to be used to do just that.
Right.
So either we take away these sort of type of weapons and say this is what the public is able to use and have, then nothing's going to change. There's got to be some type of regulation. And the regulation does not mean take away people's arms, but the regulation is what type of arms people are allowed to use as everyday citizens in
Exactly.
terms of protecting themselves.
Exactly.
That's the conversation. That's where we need to start if we want to get anywhere. Because if we
Right.
start off with like no guns for citizens, that's crazy. I mean, people are crazy.
Right.
People will come up in your house. People will do just weird things, you
So,
know?
and on that note, I was watching, I was at work and we have a TV in the break room and I was watching the news and I thought it had happened that day, but it's an old story. But a young lady was going in the house and she was carrying her baby and she was pregnant. So her and the baby she was carrying was killed. Like they ran up on her and shot her. Or I'm trying to think that they were shooting in the vicinity and she caught the bullet. And
Yes,
yeah,
yes, the pregnant woman, yes.
yeah. So it, it's crazy. And that was here in Baltimore. That was here
But
in
see, that's
Baltimore.
just, and that just boils down to the ignorance, right?
Right.
So here's the thing. For so long, especially when we're talking about Black communities, Black people holding guns and that sort of stuff, for so long, these are things that were kept from us, right?
Right.
And we never really had these sort of like orientations classes, that sort of stuff, and what these are used for and what they're not used for. Like people haven't really embraced the Black community as gun holders. America hasn't.
Right.
And so you have a bunch of people running buck wild. They got things that they think they shouldn't have. And as soon as they get the chance to use it, they're going to do it, whether it's in a good way or a bad way.
Right.
And it's just like, let's have these conversations, America.
Right.
Black people at the table, brown people at the table, the BIPOC community, everybody at the table to talk about gun use in America.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because now there's like this stigma that's put on Black people who have weapons It's like if I were, you know, I am registered. I use my gun based on the law. I'm an outstanding citizen. I have a gun in a car. The police pull me over. That gun may not even be visible to them.
Yes.
They pull me out and then search my car and find a gun. That's probable cause for them to kill me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And so when we walk around with that kind of like burden over us, even when it comes to gun use, you know, we look at it as like it's a bad thing or we shouldn't have it. And instead of embracing us as gun holders and us having that conversation, like everybody should have a gun, but this is how we should use it, then we're just going to keep getting circumstances like innocent bystanders in the hood. We're going to have people who are going to perform mass shootings, like, you know, white supremacist acts, you know, that sort of stuff. I think it's a serious conversation that needs to be had. And I don't think that it's going to get better. And the thing about it is, like, I would hate to see like there be some type of roundup where everybody's guns are getting taken away and then something big happens and we really needed them at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would hate for this to be the reason why they say no American can have a gun or something like that. And we are left defenseless.
Right. Crazy.
In so many different circumstances, cases, things that could happen. But I just think that people are sick right now. This nation is like super sick. And we really need to like, I mean, there's going to be a moment of reckoning. And I just hate to see what that would look like.
Yeah. So everybody, if you just tuning in, Buffalo, New York, grocery store mass shooting, 10 people dead. This is breaking news, Charm City Direct TV breaking news. Myself, E. Digger, the man that you all know and love, and my sister in journalism and podcast and media and all that good stuff, is joining me. Nova Pearl. Where can people find you? What's good with you? What you got?
Well, you know,
going on?
Facebook deleted my whole my whole radio show page.
Oh my God.
So, but you can find me on IG at I am Nova Pearl, and then of course Facebook Nova Pearl. You know, I ain't making too much noise just yet, but I'm gonna make some thunder this summer, hopefully.
Yes, yes. Can't wait.
It's always a pleasure being on with you as well. I wish I would have joined with you guys on the whole Kevin Samuels deal, but I just had to leave it to the comments. I pissed a lot of people off, apparently.
I told him, I said, be ready.
I mean, you know, I watched what Vivica said, and I was like, damn. I didn't feel so bad because I wasn't the only one that felt the way that I felt. Right. Did you see what Jamal Bryant was preaching on him?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh my God. It's on YouTube. He was preaching about it. He was like, how can you say that women over 35 are leftovers? And then he threw in, and they had to put a GoFundMe together for your funeral. But that's fake news, by the way. They did not need a GoFundMe to bury Kevin.
Did Jamal say that?
He really said it. It's like, bro, Google is your friend. Google is your best friend. Like that. It was like he in a pulpit. In a pulpit spreading gossip.
Right.
Come on, now.
Come on, Jamal.
Come on, bro. Like, seriously.
Hey, so we're going to end this right here. Breaking news, Buffalo, New York, grocery store mass shooting. 10 people are dead. They said it was like 13 now that have died. I'm going to keep you posted as information is provided to me. Thank you for watching. This is breaking news on Charm City Direct TV.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you.